All right, Bomb Squad, it's episode 26. It's June 17th. It's a Saturday show on a Sunday. We are joined here, of course, with Big Tones, my co-host.
Yo, yo.
And a very special guest. We have cousin J-Mac, Tones' cousin. J-Mac, how you doing?
What's up, fellas?
Yeah, so this is the first time we're doing like a three-way. We have somebody who's going to actually go through the journey of a Saturday show with us. I'm excited. It's not just us sitting here electrocuting ourselves, just me and you, Tones. We got somebody who can actually witness the greatness.
I think that's why you want to come on. You want to see me get electrocuted firsthand.
Yep.
Yeah. I do the same thing.
Yeah, I would too. So at the end of the show, we'll have our TNT punishment challenge. So Tones will have to answer rapid fire trivia questions while getting his nipples electrocuted, which is something I had to do because he's got 7 over the lines. So the Saturday show, of course, we have our world famous segments, a classic 4-pack, and then the punishment challenge. So before we even get into anything, J-Max, so you're from the horror movie background here. You're the resident horror movie guy. And you've been feeding him horror movies for me to watch for our Talking Flicks, and they have been legitimately terrifying. Your room, you have a lot of Shining memorabilia in the background. I see Pennywise back there too, the Joker. How do you sleep at night?
I do all right, man. I've been watching horror movies since I was a kid. Like, my mom's a big horror movie fan, Tones' aunt. So,
yeah,
like, it was not uncommon for me as a kid to wake up on a Sunday and her be cleaning the house while, like, watching The Shining or The Omen or, The Exorcist and all kinds of crap like that. So,
what was the scariest movie you saw as a kid?
Honestly, the thing I remember being scared the most of is and it's not even that scary of a movie if you watch it now, but Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, I have a buddy who says the same thing.
Dude, the beginning part of that movie, like as it's opening and they're going over like the cityscape and she's humming that lullaby. Yeah. As a child, I would hear that friggin' little lullaby thing and literally like run into the other room. Like I wanted nothing to do with the movie. It took me years to finally like actually sit down and watch it.
That movie's extra terrifying because it was like 1967 that movie was made.
Yeah, something
it was like extra weird. Like that movie is very off-putting, very unsettling. Similar to the feeling that we got when we watched The Exorcist 3, Tones.
Yeah.
You familiar with The Exorcist 3, J-Mac?
I haven't seen it in a while. I was talking about it with Tones and I was mixing up all the sequels and getting them confused in my head. I haven't watched it. The sequels I haven't seen often. The original I've seen a million times. But
it's the true sequel to the first one.
Yeah, I never seen the second one, but you don't need to see the second one to see the third one. I mean, it's kind of like a standalone. It's really not even that related to the original, other than
the characters.
Than the priest.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's good. But I mean, I guess you could say you're kind of like Bane. You were raised in the darkness.
I was.
You were just watching this from a young age.
So wait, cousin J-Mac. So we have actually user submitted questions for you, horror movie stuff. Have you seen It Follows?
It Follows. I have not seen that one.
Okay. Well, it's not that great of a movie. So
my buddy who I was doing the show with, Slice and Dice, he covered it on his other show, and I kind of had heard his stuff. The podcast thing has been crazy with because our show we were running, we're taking a break now. We got too busy and everything's going on, but I still guest on my buddy. He has another show, the Horror Mafia podcast, and they're ridiculous. They talk about horror movies, but they're also talking about how to make like Sunday sauces and shit because they're a bunch of guineas. So, I forgot where I was even talking about.
We were talking about It Follows.
Yeah, It Follows.
It's in a nutshell a movie about like if you have it. You get it from, it's like an STD, but it's a ghost. Yeah. So like if somebody who has it and they have sex with you, they pass the ghost on to you and like it just follows you around and it's terrifying. So you have it until you have sex with somebody else and pass it on to them. But if they die, then it comes back to you. So my question is to all of you, to both of you, would you rather have genital herpes or It Follows?
I think you got to go with herpes.
You don't want ghosts.
Like, you know what my stance on ghosts.
I know you hate ghosts. Not a ghost guy.
I don't know, but I mean, herpes don't go away, bro.
Neither do ghosts.
Neither ghosts.
Yeah, but aren't you passing it along? Like, is it?
That's true. Oh, so if you give it to someone else, it's with them.
Yeah, it's easy to get. Yeah, but you just have to be a total asshole.
Yeah. I'll spread that ghost seed everywhere. I don't.
Herpes stuff. Yeah. Just a quick hookup and just like, all right, have a good one. And they're like in the cab ride home and like it's just like a ghost following them. Like they would never suspect that you're the one who's guilty of it. They're probably just like, fuck, I'm haunted out of nowhere.
Yeah. How does someone figure that out? That like it's a sexually transmitted ghost.
In the movie, like when like they bang in the like a car, he like drugs her and basically rapes her to get the ghost away.
You had to bring rape into it again.
Now, I'm sorry, didn't mean to. It's the movie, but he pretty much just like planted his seed in her, and then she got followed. And then like she didn't want to give it to anybody else because she was like goody two shoes. But like, come on, let's be honest.
No, you gotta get rid of that shit.
Gotta get a Tinder hookup or Grindr hookup and just like pass it on to the next guy. Just let it get lost. But like all of a sudden you'll be sitting there watching TV, and if that guy gets hit by a bus, it comes right back through the fucking front door. So you're probably just like, ah!
I'm back. Come strolling in. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a conundrum.
Yeah, I would probably take the ghost. I don't want genital herpes. I mean, genital herpes sucks. I bet by the time like you're a month into genital herpes, you're probably just like, fuck, I should have like.
Do I just cut it off at this point? Like,
what a gross mess. All right, so I guess we'll just move on from the horror movie talk.
Well, I got one more question.
You do?
Yeah. Did you ever watch the Ginger Dead Man? Like I suggested,
I brought it up to the guys. I was trying to get them to do it on the show, and it was in the pipeline. We had a bunch of stuff lined up, but we never.
What are you guys watching over there right now? What's like on the list?
What is the last episode we did? Well, we started doing it was like because there was 4 hosts. This is one of the reasons why we kind of decided we had to pull the plug on it for a while.
Yeah.
Trying to organize 4 different schedules, like when you're not getting paid to do this and it's just like a hobby. It was so problematic at times, and it was taking us forever. But what we were doing was each host would pick one horror movie and one like regular movie to watch. So Jim, one of the guys I was doing the podcast with, who's actually like a paranormal researcher, he's been doing it since he's like 9 years old. Like he travels around. He works at the Haunted Hillview Manor. If anybody's ever around Pennsylvania and you want to go there, Jim could give you a tour. He picked. We watched Tombstone, the Western movie with Kurt Russell, and then we watched Laid to Rest.
All right. I thought it was going to be like, he had to watch The Shining and then The Notebook.
Yeah. Well, I just guessed with on the Horror Mafia podcast, the last episode I did where I guessed it with them, we did a Stanley Kubrick episode where we did Eyes Wide Shut.
That was like that movie gave me a boner back in the day.
Yeah, Clockwork Orange, and The Shining. We did on that episode. So that episode was ridiculous. It was like friggin' 4 hours long.
Do you think Stanley Kubrick filmed the moon landing?
Yes. I don't think he did it, but I think he knew that was the rumor, and he just wanted to like troll people. So he was like, "I'm gonna stick this crap in this movie." And
Tones, you're all aboard that, right? You think Kubrick directed the moon landing? I forget how we concluded that. Stay woke.
I mean,
I don't know. I bring these stay wokes out, and I try to play devil's advocate. I don't believe all of them.
You just come off like a nut job because you do that.
No, I think it's definitely fake, but I don't know if it was him.
Well, did you ever see 2001: A Space Odyssey?
I haven't seen it yet.
I have. Yeah.
I mean, one just before you go into it, there's literally a 15-minute long scene of a spaceship docking at a space station to classical music. Like, it is a slow moving movie. I love it, but I can understand if you want to blow your fucking brains out while you were watching.
There's that scene with the monkeys, and there's like the black tombstones.
That sounds like the
monolith, black monolith. But
monolith,
they a lot of those scenes though, when they land on these planets, if you made it black and white, it would look a lot like the footage of the moon landing.
Yeah, I mean, I think in that Stay Woke I did, I said, I read somewhere that it's still like the most accurate space movie, like physics wise, like to this day. And it was made in the 70s, 60s,
some like late 70s.
Yeah,
I'll have to check it out. I'm only gonna watch it if you put it on the Talking Flicks. I got something else to watch. I forget what it is already, but I have until Thursday to watch it. So I'll probably actually take.
You got Baskin.
I already watched Baskin. We haven't talked about it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Sweet. I'm ahead. Like the kid did his homework early and
I still got to watch Congo.
Yeah. Oh, I'm jealous. Lucky man. All right, we're gonna move on. So before we get into anything, we have some news.
Is it good or bad?
It's bad news. So 6 people were injured after a ride malfunction caused a roller coaster car to derail, ejecting 2 passengers and stranding 8 others at the boardwalk in Daytona Beach, Florida. Two riders were ejected from the front car and fell 34 feet to the ground, fire officials said. Two more passengers dangling from the car were rescued by firefighters on the ground using ladders and tech equipment. So, what do you get on roller coasters there, guys?
This reminded me of Roller Coaster Tycoon as soon as I read it.
Oh, that's a good one.
You ever back in the day build the roller coasters that just stopped halfway and just launch people off? I was a sick little fuck. I used to do that.
I used to play the original all the time, when I was supposed to be playing homework. There's a park that took me 4 months to build. It was to the point where I was just overseeing it. It was Robert De Niro looking over his casino, just loving, I got these great coasters that I built. People are having fun. I'm hiring janitors to go clean up all the vomit and stuff. And while I'm kind of calmly just overseeing the park, all of a sudden you just get this red alert in the bottom where it's just 83 people have died on the Captain America ride. So I'm what? I go over to check it, and I see one of the rides got stuck in the middle of it, and there were 3 trains on the ride. So one crashed into the back of it, killing both of them. And I just saw one that was already on pace to start the ride, and there's no stopping it. So I just sit back hopelessly and just watch him just go through the entire ride and then crash into the fucking shit that's at the end of the ride. And I lost
trains.
It was 175 people died.
Good God.
I got to stay open.
That's rough.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Hey, Mac, you're down in Florida, right?
Yeah, I'm in Florida. See, maybe I'm spoiled because of having Disney and stuff this close. That kind of stuff doesn't happen on Disney roller coasters, But some roller coaster on a boardwalk in the middle of nowhere, just sketchy as fuck. And even if you do die on a Disney roller coaster, you're probably gonna end up getting so much money off them.
Yeah.
Well, if you're dead,
your family, at least your people are hooked up. If there's death going on the fucking
lifelong passes.
Yeah,
fast track.
Is it embarrassing to die on Splash Mountain? You think if you
it's gotta be
fly out and just get mauled by a fucking log flume?
I had heard a story. I don't know if it's true about a lady dying on It's a Small World. She fell out of the boat backwards. She was doing something she wasn't.
How did you fall out of the boat backwards? The thing goes 1 mile an hour.
I guess she tried to stand up and she went out, but the next one rode over her and she was pinned under the water and drowned.
Oh my God.
I don't know how true that is, but if it is, I'm dude, you died on It's a Small World. It's the cheesiest ride in the fucking world. Planet,
You died the most graphic death of all time on It's a Small World. It's the most horrifying thing I've ever heard. Yeah. Imagine getting slowly pinned down and drowned with that music in the background. Little doll singing to you. Oh my God, that's horrifying.
That's how you get that Mickey Mouse hush money.
Yeah. If you get to sue Disney, you're walking out of there easily 100 mil.
Yeah.
But like I said, what good is it if you're dead? If you died on It's a Small World, I don't give a rat's ass. I'm embarrassed and I'm ashamed. And I'm dead.
As you should be.
As you should be. All right. So that was bad news. And now we're gonna move into our world famous segments. So hit it, Taylor Hicks. All right. So we got a Mad Lib challenge. So J-Mac, are you familiar with the Mad Lib challenge?
Yes.
Awesome.
Been listening to y'all.
It's always fascinating to find people who actually listen to us talk.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel we have one listener and it's me.
Yeah.
It is a good feeling to know that somebody's out there. I know when we first started the show for a while, it was we're just talking to ourselves. And then we had this one kid who lived in Arizona that started listening to us and he'd be hitting us up when are you doing this? When are you doing that? And it was wow. All right. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. We have one super fan, Sean. He runs our Twitter page. He's my cousin. He's the best. he's like that too. He's when's the next show up? But anyway, all right. So let's get to the Mad Lib challenge. So you guys both have your water. So I'm going to ask for words. You both are going to give me words. And then at the end of it, you'll take a big swig of water. I'll read it. And if you spit it out, you lose. If you keep it in your mouth, you win.
So we're alternating. We're going back and forth.
Yeah. You two are going to go back and forth.
Okay.
All right. So who wants to go first?
You could go.
All right, J-Mac.
Wait, do you have the water already?
Oh, no, we got to ask for words first. You don't have to put the water in your mouth until the end.
Okay. All right. Start it up.
Okay. Number.
8.
Okay. Plural noun.
Fat people.
Noun.
Balls.
Adjective.
Sweaty.
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 No one can resist my sweaty balls.
Yes.
Okay. Noun.
Foot.
Foot. Verb. Past tense.
Fucked.
Fucked.
Wait, no, can I change my answer? Is it too late?
No, you can change it.
Shitted.
Shitted?
Yeah.
All right. We'll accept that. Verb.
Blah, 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 blah.
How do you spell it?
Shit. Why am I drawing a blank? Go, Ant.
Verb?
Yeah.
Verb.
One thing.
Verb action.
Huh?
You need an action. Wait, what?
Verb.
Yeah.
He hasn't said anything yet, but we passed it on to you because you drew.
Oh, you passed. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm fucking.
All right, fucked.
Fucked again.
Yeah.
A lot of fucking going on. Noun.
Cock.
Nice. Part of the body.
Balls.
Balls again. Noun.
Urethra.
Oof.
Stick it in one region.
Oh, I knew somebody was gonna say something like that. That's like my biggest fucking
What you
dick hole stuff. Not
Not a fan of dick hole stuff.
not a fan of dick hole stuff.
Duly noted.
Yeah, write that down. Noun.
Pussies.
Pussies. Multiple pussies. Even though I didn't ask for plural noun, but I'll grant it. Noun.
Sharks.
Sharks.
Good one. Good
Again,
one.
singular noun I asked for, but we want plural. But I'll this is gonna be a grammatically third Mad Lib. Funny noise.
Funny noise.
Yeah.
A plop.
A plop. A plop.
Yeah, I can see we're not gonna last with this one.
All right, I need a noun and then an adjective.
Mustang.
Mustang.
That's weird.
And an adjective.
Greasy.
Greasy. All right, we're gonna go, Mad. So I'll ask you both to take a big sip of your water, fill up your mouths, and try to hold it in and not laugh. All right. Bear with me real quick because the app crashed. It did this last night. I don't know why it does this now, but we'll go right into it. All right. Technical difficulties. One more second. Okay. All right. It's called Mom's Messages. Hi, it's your mother. Where are you? I've left over 8 fat people on your answering balls. Maybe you forgot to turn the sweaty ringer on. You're coming for foot tonight, aren't you? You certainly could use a home shitted meal. I'll call you later. Hello, it's me again. I'm at the doctor. Don't fucked. I'm fine. I was in the market and I slipped on a cock peel. The doctor says I sprained my balls. I may have to wear a brace on the urethra or use crutches. Don't worry, honey. I'll call back. Hello? Good. You're finally answering. What? I can't speak any louder. I'm seeing pussies at the theater. We lost Jones. J-Mac is still alive. All right. Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Sharks. A plop. I'm going to have to lower my Mustang. The actors are giving me a greasy look. I'll call you back. All right, Cousin J-Mac survived. Just barely. Tones did not. Well done.
Oh man, I almost lost at the same time he did, but
Yeah, that was a good one.
once he went, I was like, I can't make the family look bad. I got to step it up.
There we go.
Oh,
Man,
God.
Tons is still recovering.
Now I'm wet and I'm gonna get electrocuted. It's
Yeah,
not
that's great.
not a good combination.
Oh man.
All right. That brings us to our second segment, which is an Ask a Gay. So, do you guys both have questions, or is it just you, Tons? J-Mac, you got a question you'd like to ask?
I do got something.
All right. Ask away.
You going first or?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go first. What's the deal with anal bleaching? Is that like a common practice in the
I think so.
community?
I think so.
Okay.
Because I mean, like I always bring up with these anal questions. I mean, that's where shit comes from. So I mean, you really want it as clean as possible. I mean, like imagine like putting your dick in something, coming out with poop on it. Like I mean, that's
You don't want that. You never want that.
And farts happen all the time, like I say too. So I mean, you know, I don't know if bleaching helps that at all. Farts are farts, but
Yeah, probably not the farts, but the whole poop thing maybe.
no, I mean, like I'm in the boat where I'm sure I don't know if you are too. Like if I were to go up and like just wipe a little bit, like there's probably be something.
A little something. Yeah. No, I'm in that boat right now. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's easy. I mean, like I wipe and I wipe and I wipe. And it gets to the point where I'll just be like, it's just as good as it's gonna get. So I guess like some people take the extra steps to make sure that you know that doesn't happen to them, so they get it bleached.
Yeah, that's fair.
I work with a dude who lived in it. It was like his wife's family's house, and they were like off the boat from Italy, and they had a bidet.
Oh,
And I was always like afraid to use it, but he told me that like when his daughter was like 3, she would go in the bathroom and like use it like a drinking fountain.
oh,
And
gross!
I'm like, that's disgusting, bro. You probably shouldn't tell people that shit. But
What a stupid invention! Like toilet paper, we fixed it years ago. Imagine like having to go stand over like a thing that shoots water up and just like cleans out your butt.
power wash your butthole.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they say it does a better job than toilet paper, though.
Well, yeah. I mean,
That's
here we're
what they
talking
say.
about like you know.
I mean, but think about it. You got to use like a regular towel to dry off after that.
Yeah,
That's
you
true.
Try to pat down.
throw it in the hamper for somebody to wash.
Oh man.
Just walk around with a wet asshole all day. You don't
When you
want
try
that.
to use toilet paper and it's like, that stuff breaks apart once it gets wet. So you just got little chunks of toilet paper stuck all over your ass.
That's kind of
You
itch.
got a bunch of dingleberries hanging around. You don't want that.
Terrible. That's terrible.
J-Mac, what do you got?
Yeah. So I was thinking like straight dudes watch porn and they'll watch like heterosexual porn and then they'll watch like 2 chicks getting it on. Do gay guys watch like gay guy porn? But like if they watch heterosexual porn, are they just checking the dude out, or is it like heterosexual porn not even exist?
Well, yeah, it's there's no women around unless they're like leaving. Unless like in the plot of the porno. Like and they get out of there. But no, yeah, like I'm sure some people watch lesbian sex just for fun, but like the anatomy of a woman is it's just something that's not appealing to me at all.
Yeah, I don't expect you to watch like lesbian sex, but I'm saying like how a straight guy could watch heterosexual sex and lesbian sex. Could a gay guy watch heterosexual sex? Like I'm
you
not
can,
watching
but
heterosexual sex for the dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm checking the chick out. So like,
What's that
could
like
you
you
watch
guys
it just for the dude?
Oh yeah. Back in the day,
yeah.
before I even knew what gay porn was, I was always watching it for the dude.
All right.
If you guys watching hetero porn, and like if this guy has if a guy has like a hammer of a boner, is that like you guys just like are able to mentally block that out? Like,
I think it gives you a fucked up sense of how big penises are supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, that for sure. But I mean, I don't want to watch porn with a guy with a small dick. Like, no, like if I would do that, I'll just
You are such a liar. It makes you feel better about yourself.
no, because then I'll just like if I want to see that, I could just like
Look in the mirror.
Yeah, exactly. Like I want to like they want you like the whole point of porn is like fulfill that fantasy. Like I'm the dude with
you pretend it's your dick.
forearm dick, like
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. All right. Fascinating. I guess we'll move on because we talk about dicks and butts too much on here. I think. A lot of the feed we talk too much about farts and poop and butts and dicks. That was the feedback we got. So we'll move to our third segment, which is a what's good. All right. So what was the song? What was the song called? I had to listen to. I forgot to write it down. I just have my questions.
Shook Ones Part 2.
Shook Ones Part 2. Okay. All right. So the first lyric that I cut and pasted here. So you heard of us, official Queensbridge murderers. That's a confession right there. So did this guy go to jail?
No, the guy who said is actually dead now. He just died last year.
Oh, this is a surprise. How'd he die?
He choked to death on an egg.
Wait, that's actually how he died?
Yeah, everybody, because he had sickle cell, so everybody thought it was some kind of complication. But the autopsy revealed he choked to death on an egg.
Was it like a hard-boiled egg, or was it like a...
I wasn't in his fucking kitchen. They just said that.
I wasn't expecting that at all. That's a really bad way to go.
R.I.P.
He choked on an egg.
Oh my god! Was it like a raw egg? Like no confession.
Was he like eating scrambled eggs at a diner? And like
he was in his house. I know that they found him in the house. So.
It was definitely a hard-boiled egg because usually like people try to swallow those whole.
And they get dry if you overcook them. They're a little dry and it's kind of get stuck in there. I mean, you don't have any water readily available.
Give him some Sarah McLachlan music though.
Yeah.
All right. So my second question. You all alone in these streets, cousin. Oh, I wrote that down because you're Tone's cousin. So shout out, J Mac.
No question there. You just want
I just kind of write these down, and then like an hour or two passes, and I kind of forget why I put them down. So I'm just kind of reading right now. Yo, it's a must in Gats we trust. Shout out Gats. That's been a common theme for the segment. So I just want to bring light to Gats. Thinking about just calling guns Gats from now on. Yeah, we need to stop Gats violence in this country. The NRA and their Gats. Unbelievable. Kid can just bring a gat to school. All right. So then the last one I have. So some get shot, locked down, and turn nuns. So they get shot and they turn into nuns.
Is that the actual lyric? Some
get
shot, locked down, and turn nuns. So if you get shot, do you turn into a nun? According to the guy who choked on the egg.
I think what he was saying was you either get shot, you get locked down, or you
turn into a nun.
Yeah, or maybe was it like nun or like nothing?
You can't be a nun if you're a guy. That's just not allowed.
Actually, I never looked. Like, how does he spell it? Like nun, like
N-U-N-S. It's at the very end of the song.
Yeah, I know. Like I know the lyric. I just never thought of it.
Like I think Mr. didn't pop into your head.
No. But I'm probably trying to imply that you do that, or you become,
nothing. But he needed to rhyme, so he put nuns.
Probably.
See, this is where you got to be careful. Like, you can't force rhymes. I've been saying it since we started doing this. You got to be more creative. Like buns.
Or it could just be a metaphor for like a goody two shoes.
Sure. Yeah, just a word that kind of fit in there. Nun. Kind of like how you use key lime pie.
You get shot, you turn into a nun. I just thought that was an interesting one. It was a good song though. Nice beat. Guy seemed like he killed a lot of people. He had that egg coming.
Did surprisingly a very short person. The both of them.
These guys talk such a big game. They always turn out to be short guys.
I saw. Did you go to that concert with me? And what was that?
Which one?
It was Raekwon and Mobb Deep.
I don't think I went to that one.
It might have been before you started coming. That was always an adventure going to hip hop shows with Anthony. But fucking, they literally are maybe 5'4", both of them.
5'4"? I can fucking punch that guy across my street.
Tiny.
Yeah, between him and Ja Rule, I mean, what's going on here?
Yeah.
A little side note tangent, just because it just popped in my brain. It's hilarious. So I went to a Black Sabbath concert, I think a year ago, and we were with this kid who he's got like night blindness, so he can't see at night, and he doesn't really go to concerts that often. But so we were walking into his show, and first thing he does is walk into a tree and fall down. And the cops saw that and assumed he didn't have like a sip of alcohol that night. So then he ends up going to buy something. He lost his wallet and his social security card. And I was like, dude, you came to this concert, you walked into a tree, then you lost your wallet and your identity.
Wait, why would you walk around with your social security card?
He had to use it for something that afternoon, I guess, because he had like a new job, and he kept it in his wallet. And he's like, what do I do? I was like, call the government, I guess. I don't lose your social security number. But yeah, that was a little side note. But all right, so we moved to segment number 4, which is a Let There Be Rock. So you had to listen to Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah, I didn't have like a specific line about this, that I had a question. It's just like this guy feels like he's grasping at straws. Like he really wants this girl to have something in common with him. He's like, hey, remember breakfast at Tiffany's? And she's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
oh yeah, we kind of both like that. He's like, yeah,
we got
totally.
that. Just one thing.
Yeah. Like, he just seems kind of desperate. He's like, I don't know, man. Like, don't try as hard. If you really want the girl, like, you know,
I never looked at it that way. This guy kind of is a loser.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, you know, that's all he keeps saying is like, well, we have this one thing in common. We have this old ass movie that no one cares about. We kind of both like we just sit there. We're gonna sit on breakfast at Tiffany's for the rest of our fucking lives.
Sit there. We'll wake up, watch breakfast at Tiffany's. We'll take a break, and then we'll watch it again. Like, what's this guy thinking? J-Mac, did you listen to this song, or you just kind of like watch it from afar? Are you familiar with Breakfast at Tiffany's?
No, I am familiar with the song. I didn't listen to it just then. I got busy when Aunt had texted me with what it was.
Good.
But I'm familiar with the song. I actually like that song.
It's a great song.
Yeah, it's a good song. Yeah,
like at heart, I'm a rap guy since I was a kid, but I do enjoy some of that other stuff.
So if you were Brooklyn in the 90s, was like Beastie Boys like the big deal?
Beastie Boys was like when I was like real young, and then kind of when I got the big deal when I was growing up was like Biggie, Wu-Tang, and Nas were like the biggest things in the world. Like you couldn't go 2 feet without, you know, especially being in Brooklyn, the whole Biggie thing.
Yeah.
And then Wu-Tang just like ruled the world at that point, you know.
Gotcha. Yeah, Biggie Smalls. We found out Tupac's hippie activist the other show.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
So I'm Team Biggie. If we have to choose, so I'm on Biggie's side. He just seems like a man's man who just works hard and he fucking kicks ass. Tupac's just a little hippie over there in California who just wants rights for everybody.
I almost think, you know, it was like the Biggie song Anthony picked. This is what I think people like. People who like hip hop and want other people who don't listen to it to like it automatically like suggest like the hip hop songs that are like the pop hip hop songs, like the more mainstream, well known stuff. Like I know you guys did Juicy, which I love the song Juicy, but
it was all a dream.
Yeah, like that song I've heard so many times. Like there's other Biggie songs that if I want somebody, especially somebody with like a brain, like, you know, like you're halfway smart guy. So I would do like Suicidal Thoughts or something. That's a good Biggie song to check out. Like,
I think he didn't give that to me. I've heard that song though. Yeah,
like those, like there's songs that are a little deeper.
I like doing this though, because when I do listen, I read the lyrics as I listen. So I'm actually like taking it in and understanding what they're talking about with Gats.
Yeah, I got on my buddy Bill that I did Slice and Dice with, and he's on the Horror Mafia. He's like straight metal, like, and he's like,
my man.
Yeah, he's like 10 years older than me, so he's like, he doesn't want nothing to do with hip hop music. So something we were trying to do is get him to listen to anything that's hip hop, and that's like a Mortal Technique song you did last time.
Yeah.
Like that, like I was trying to get that because that's one of those songs like it fucks people's days up when they listen.
Yeah,
to
that fucked my day. Thanks a lot for that.
Yeah, well, you know,
you pretty much brought like a rape theme into our podcast.
Yeah.
Incepted rape into our podcast.
Give J-Mac an over the line.
Oh, come on.
That's one.
Thanks more. I'll mail you some Korean nipple shockers. Don't worry.
Well, Tones, while you got the pen at hand, we have a shock surprise segment because it just popped in. So Stone Cold music. Okay. I had a dream like a week ago and I still remember it. Shit. I didn't even write it down. I was like that intense. So basically, we were like, me and my family were at some concert, not the important part at all. That's where we were. And then I got home early. So when I got home, there's this guy in the house. He's just like this older kind of guy. And he had a gun and he was like holding it at me saying, he's like, I want to live here. I was just like, well, you're off to a bad start. Like, I don't want to live with you. You can't live here now. Waving a gun at everybody. But I was like, it was terrifying. Like, he was literally like holding the gun to me, freaking out. So he's like, I want to live with you guys like in this house. Or I was like, all right.
Let me stay here.
Let's just like this whole like hostage situation went on for like hours. It felt like before, like I was the only one home because I was waiting for them to all get back from the concert. They took fucking forever. So I was just like, you don't do this. Like it literally felt like a hostage. Then they showed up, my family, and then he just like was pointing the gun at them. And I was like, hey, listen, really not doing. No way you can live here at this point, right? Like if you're holding people hostage and your demands are that I want to live in this house with you, like we're gonna have issues right out. Like breakfast tomorrow, not gonna be fun. But
yeah, you better have that gun at breakfast too. I'm fucking swinging on you. You
so
old
basically,
motherfucker.
when he was holding the gun on them, I was able to get my phone out and call the police. And he was like, 911, what's your emergency? And I just like said my address, and he was just like, okay. And that was the phone. And he's like, did you just call the cops? I was like, no, I swear to God. And then the cops rolled in, and then I woke up. That was it. Like they didn't come into the house. I saw the car. I saw the lights outside, and then that was it. I had to share it. That was it. I woke up and I was like, wow, that was something.
I had a dream the other day where I was just drinking milk the entire time, like regular milk, chocolate milk. I have no idea why, but I just kept like making more and more chocolate milk. I was like, this is delicious.
It's a solid dream right there.
Yeah. And then I actually woke up and had a glass of milk for the first time in like 15 years.
Nice.
It was really weird. I don't know. Yeah, I don't like remember a lot from my dreams. I just remember things like that, like the whole the wet T-shirt contest with Mr. Krabs that I was watching.
That was a crazy one.
And then now I'm just drinking milk. You know.
Yeah. That's why I had to share it because this happened a week ago, and I still like remember it like it actually happened. It was one of those dreams where it might as well have happened. I was held hostage in my house by a guy who wanted to live there. All right, so that brings us to our fifth segment, which is the Tones Bones. So who has bones? Raise your hands if you have a bone.
I got a bone.
You got a bone? J-Mac, you got a bone?
Sure.
You don't have to bone if you don't want to. This is a nice place to vent if you have grievances. I'm going to go first, okay? Because I was texting you this live while it happened because it drove me fucking insane. So I was at this big event the other night. I ate so much food that day. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was at this gala, and I was at the Monmouth University basketball gym. 400 people. There was one fucking bathroom, and I had shit. Like my stomach just fucking turned on me, and I had to go shit. Go to the bathroom, piss all over the fucking seats. Fuck that. Went upstairs, scaled the arena that was like closed because we only had the downs like where the court was. So I went up towards the rafters and trying to find bathrooms. All the doors were locked. I'm like, fuck. So then I go downstairs. I see my uncle outside, and I'm like, give me your fucking keys. And he's like, why? I was like, I need to drive home and take a shit. It's like my house is like 15 minutes away from Monmouth University. Got his keys, drove home, took the best dump I've ever had. Drove back to the gala, sat down, and they were like, where the fuck did you go? And I told them the story, and nobody believed me. Not a soul believed me that happened. And then there's like no way that I could prove it. So like it drove me insane. I was like, no, I swear to God, I had a shit. So I took Uncle Mike's car and I fucking drove home to take a dump, and then I drove back. What's so hard to fucking believe about that? My brother's just like, that's just a weird story. He was basically implying that I went to like go do like go smoke weed real quick and come back, like trying to get me in trouble for no fucking reason. Like, what's your fucking problem right now? I had to go take a dump. Why is it so hard to believe? He's just like, it's just a weird story. It just doesn't add up. Like, imagine like telling the truth and nobody believes you. Drove me to madness.
Yeah. I mean, like, what do you have to do? Bring the turd back with you?
Everybody, I should have taken a picture of the dump. I had to show him the timestamps of me texting you saying like, oh, dude, I got to run home and take a huge dump. Like, I'm taking it right now. And that's pretty much what got them to believe me. But like, it was just like, is everything okay? Like, where did you really go? Like, I went home to take a shit. You seen the toilets? They're fucking covered in piss, man. That's my bone.
That's another thing. I mean, not to jump in, but like I get so much anxiety when I have to take a shit, and it's like a one-person bathroom in like a large venue, and
400 people, waiting in line and stuff too.
Like, I don't want to be that guy. First of all, to hold people up, and I don't want them to walk in after me and just get hit with a wall of shit.
Yeah. Exactly. And then like they can go to the gala and then just be like, yeah, I just like ran into Tom Heavey in the bathroom. He's like totally taking a dump. That's gross. That's like the fear that you live in when you do that.
Yeah.
That's my bone though. So what do you got, Tones?
So yesterday at work, on the weekends, we have to do all the cleaning right in our department. So we pull up all the rubber mats, we get in there with the hose and we spray it down, get all the muck off. And when that happens, like there's a lot of splashback. You end up just getting soaked, right? Like now, I also on the weekends I have to count all the shrimp, which is in the freezer.
Yeah.
So I'm soaked, and I go into the freezer, and my pants just instantly like turned into ice. They just hardened. Like I was wearing ice pants in a freezer. So I don't know if you could hear it. I'm a little bit sick, but it's like
whoa. Hold on. All right, now I'm sorry. You chopped out.
No, yeah, I was saying. So I'm just wearing ice pants, just in the freezer wearing pants, like just like rock hard pants. It was. I mean, I don't know. I'm just pissed that I had to fucking deal with that and just be wearing. You ever wore ice pants?
No,
it's not fun.
I haven't worn ice pants.
Not when you're in the freezer. And I was in there for like an hour, just really trying to find this goddamn shrimp.
Your job stresses me out. It's terrible. You just work 7 days a week, got ice pants and like
slapped with
headphones that never work, and customers touching the fish when there's signs that say don't touch the fish.
I saw a guy the other day touch the fish, and then 5 minutes later, I saw him touching mangoes over in the produce department.
That's just great.
Yeah.
That's just great. Poor people are going to get sick now. So, J-Mac, you got a bone?
Probably just, all right, so I live in Florida now.
Mm.
And after living in New York City until I was, whatever it was, 3 years ago, I lived up until I moved to New York, to Florida from New York. How nice people are down here freaked me out.
Yeah.
For a while,
man.
first, to the point where like it was almost annoying, and then you get used to it. And now if someone's even like slightly unpleasant, I'm like, yo, what the fuck is their problem? When I first went there, like I'd be out walking my dogs and somebody would drive by and wave, and I'd look behind me like, who the fuck you waving at? Like not realizing it's just being nice to me, Like everybody wants to say hi and make small talk and shit. And I was like really nervous at first. It used to freak me out real bad. But then you get used to it. Now, like the lady who delivers my mail, she's not nasty or nothing. She just hands you your mail. She walks away. This chick, like, she does that. And I'm like, she didn't even ask me how my day was. Like, what's her problem?
What a bitch.
What a bitch. The mail lady.
I can't stand her.
If you're a lady and you deliver mail, are you still a mailman or are you a mail lady?
Male person.
It's a male person, right?
Mail person.
Way of doing
Is that what you guys say, mail person?
I don't know.
Yes, I don't know. I just say mailman in general.
Yeah, the mailman. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you guys up there in New York have like crazy sayings. Like when somebody turns out the lights or you're asking somebody to do it, how do you say it to turn the lights off?
Cut the light off is what.
Do you guys say close the lights?
Close the light. Yeah, I guess sometimes.
I say turn them off. Turn off.
Yeah. My old roommate Joe, who's like got the Long Island, Brooklyn kind of blood in him, he says close the lights. So I'm like, Joe, it's at a fucking store. You turn them off. You don't close them.
Joe's also a fucking caveman.
That was one of the most bizarre. Hey, Tom, can you close the lights? What?
Yeah, no, I mean, I lived in Florida too, so I know what you mean. It's like you're leaving Publix and they're like, oh, so how's your day going? I'm just like, who the fuck are you? Don't fucking talk to me.
Like that's how it's messed up. That's how you got to live at first. Like, the fuck? Like, why are you talking to me? You really want to say, like, and that's why I love that Publix. You could order the stuff online and you get there, and because while they're cutting your cold cuts or whatever, they're like asking you all this shit, and it's just like, I don't want to talk to you.
And they're just like, so how's your day?
Yeah, and how slow people walk down here. They drive like fucking maniacs.
Yeah,
but they walk. So I've come so close just to smashing my shopping cart into the back of these old ladies before. Just get out of my goddamn way. They don't walk. They stroll.
Yeah,
what's the South for you? Because like I'm in Maryland, we're like we've talked about it. Like we're like the middle ground of like North and South. So that explains the fucked up Baltimore accent. It's like it's a hybrid, like Northerner and Southerner. So they say like "ow," like they can't make up their mind if they're North or South. But they're slow and they're like half friendly, half just like they're just not appealing people. I don't know if you know anybody in Maryland. I'm sorry if I offend any Marylanders who are listening to this, but your state is lame. Okay, I've done a 3-year study on it and fucked up people. All right, so we have a horse race next. We are getting to the gates now, and it's post time, but we should take a commercial break real quick, just for the sake of time. All right, cool, dude. I was at the track yesterday.
Yeah,
sports betting for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, I won $238 at the track yesterday, which
nice.
is fucking. I'm on fire. Then I bet the Bucks to win the Super Bowl.
Oh my god! Wait, you did that online, or do they have like betting?
No, it's at the track. You can't do it online yet. That's not until like a few weeks.
Okay, but also they actually have. Because did they have? Yeah, they had betting there before, right?
Only horse betting, but never sports betting.
Gotcha.
So they open up like this whole bar. I'm trying to find my betting slips. That would suck if I fucking lost them. Oh, there they are. What else? I made a lot of bets. I bet Michigan to win the national championship. 14-1.
Oh wow.
Steal.
You really think they're gonna win?
No, but the odds were so good. If the Bucks win the Super Bowl, I get $500.
Would you put down like $3?
5. I can't find them. Yeah, but it was fucking sweet. It's so cool just being able to, like, people take fucking forever. That was gonna be my other bone of people who go to ticket windows when you're horse betting and they have to bet like every possible thing and they take like 20 minutes and you're sitting there and it's like 0 minutes to post. You're like, buddy, you fucking degenerate. Just get out of the way. Like, you be courteous and ask people behind you, like, what are you gonna bet? You know, because I'm only doing like, yeah, I got $5 on the 10 horse to win, then he wins. And this asshole in front of me who's betting everything probably loses his entire mortgage.
See, I find like the horse racing like the safest way to be a degenerate gambler.
Oh yeah, like I don't sport. Like I tried it. Like it's like I bet the Bucks to win the Super Bowl. Like I just don't want to learn about it. But like the ponies, like I kill it. Like I kill the ponies. It's awesome.
Yeah, actually, Ant knows him. Fucking Pat.
Oh,
He was like huge into like playing poker and shit. Like at one point he was gonna move to Atlantic City and become a professional card player and all this bullshit. And he would like go to these little like underground places in fucking downtown Brooklyn and play, and then be like on the run because he owed like all this money.
Oh shit.
Dude, I need to borrow like $300. I'm like, what? Like, dude, it's 2:00 in the morning. Why are you calling me? Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna start it. You ready, Tuz?
yeah.
All right. And we're back. All right. So we have a horse race. We have the Belmont Park Race 5. I got my money on Baggins, like Bilbo Baggins from
Bilbo.
Lord of the Rings. Yeah. So he's the one horse. So let's go Baggins. $10 in him to win. Not a show bet today. Straight up to win today.
Did you ever hear of Lord of the G Strings?
They're off.
No.
It's a
Slow beginning. Beto goes off to the front.
Come on, Baggins.
they got a dildo saggins in there.
These two will take over.
It's a lot of horses for this kind of a race.
Pro Avenue was running in fourth early on. Baggins is fifth. And then it's Blue Sky Kitten on the outside.
Come on, Baggins.
The mobilization. Swamp Rat and slow starting one mission.
Should have picked Swamp Rat.
Turn. Joyful Heart on top and now in the clear by a length and a half.
Come on,
over
Baggins.
Gins and Tins through a fast quarter of 21.4.
7-1, by the way.
Running in third, 3 lengths off of them, then Junipero Avenue. Baggins under a drive, 5 lengths from the front. Clear of Blue
Here goes
Sky
Baggins.
Kitten outside.
Here goes Baggins.
One mission is next.
Come on, Baggins.
Go, Baggins.
They come toward the top of the stretch. Joyful Heart turning for home with the lead here. A length and a half advantage over Gins and
Come on, Baggins.
Beto is third
Whip.
to the
Go,
outside.
go, go.
Baggins is closing down the center. Swamp Rat comes to an opening on the inside, and in the middle of the course.
Oh, shit. There's 7 horse. I don't know.
Joyful Heart.
Come on,
Here
Baggins.
comes
Come on.
Swamp Rat.
Where is he? Where is he?
Swamp Rat runs by Joyful Heart. And Swamp Rat and Dylan Davis will pull away to
Came in
win.
third.
Joyful Heart holds on for second.
Should have did a show bet. Should have did a show bet. Oh, that's all right. We only lost $10, and it was free money. I had $33 in there because I'm on fire right now. So this is house money. All right, cool. So that brings us to our classic 4-pack of questions.
Whoa.
Thank you, Kane. All right, so we're gonna do this round table style. So this is a question that Tones texted me yesterday. So we'll have to clarify too after I read it. If you had to murder someone using food, what would you use? So like, you mean like stuff their face, like, and choke them, or like,
Well, I was thinking about
or
a
anyway.
couple different things. One of them, you could like force feed someone ice cream and just like freeze their brain to death. Or you could asphyxiate them with like a giant like log of salami kind of deal.
okay,
But the one
you were really
I thought about
fuck
this. I thought about
place
this a
yesterday.
lot. Yeah, but the,
Bad day at work.
yeah, the one that I came up with though that I'm going with is I want to funnel soup into somebody, just like force feed them like hot soup.
Hot
Like
soup.
really like fresh off the stove soup. Just funnel it and just watch them drink it.
That's graphic.
Yeah. It's a real fucked up way to die. But if it got to do with the food, I mean, you got to make it count, right?
I guess. K-Mac, what do you got?
I was gonna say, you know, the giant turkey legs they sell at Disney World.
Oh yeah, I was this
It's
close to
just
putting
like-
that.
Bludgeon someone to death with one of those.
That's what I was exactly gonna put what you just said. Remember Made in America Tones? When I don't know if you went, but I got one of those turkey legs and it was like
Oh, really?
Cajun seasoning, and like I took 2 bites of it, and this is after I drank like a ton of Jameson. This is the last time I ever touched Jameson. Like 3 of us finished an entire bottle, like put it that way.
Yeah.
So I was throwing up the entire next morning, and it all tasted like the Cajun turkey leg.
Oy.
The thing was like it's like a porterhouse steak worth of meat.
Yeah,
it's fucking gross.
So
I just put down bread.
Really, what about bread?
You can do a lot with it. Like a big thing of bread, you can like hit somebody with it. You can, I mean, like bread is like, it's heavy food. So if you do want to choke them with it, like, you know, it's an Italian way to do it, which is kind of badass, you know, in a way. And like, it's just like, you know, it's bread.
What if you just like took the inside of the bread and just like force fed that and then made them drink like a bunch of water so it like blows up?
You could do that too. See, it's a very versatile weapon when you think about it.
You could smother somebody with it. Like if you have a big enough loaf of bread, you just like cover their face with it.
Yeah.
Just smother them with the bread.
Exactly.
Can I tell a quick story right now just because we're talking about bread beatings and stuff?
Go for it.
Well, growing up, one of the guys from the neighborhood is the kind of kid that if you told him he had no balls, like he would do anything you told him to fucking do. And we used to hang out on the avenue a lot. The cops would come and break us up. And once we became mobile, we would get into all kinds of trouble. And one of the things we would do is we'd go buy eggs at like the store close to the house and then walk along one of the avenues and go into the stores and just throw eggs at whoever was behind the counter.
You little shit.
Yeah, we were terrible kids. We would have been good kids if the cops let us just hang out on the corner and talk shit. But, you know, there were so many of us that they had to get us off the corner.
Imagine working behind the counter, mind your own business. All of a sudden, kids come and start throwing eggs at you.
So we go we go into this one store and we all throw the eggs and we all run, get like a block away, and we stop and we're looking around and we're like, where's Mike? And someone's like, I don't know, like, let's go back and see if we can find him. So we run back to the store, and this kid is standing on the counter with 2 loaves of Italian bread, just beating the guy. The funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
See, that's what I would do. I would beat him with the sticks of bread, and then like you could just take out the inside part, the dough, and then just kind of shove it down their mouth and kill them that way. Easy.
Yeah.
Man, J-Mac, I was playing tennis ball, baseball as a kid. He's over there throwing eggs and beating breadsticks at convenience stores.
That story reminds me of the Bottle Kids from Trailer Park Boys.
Bottle Kids! Get a Bottle Kids soundbite in there. Oh, man. All right. So, second question I have. What's the nearest thing that you have to a superpower? J-Mac, why don't you go first?
I was trying to think about this, man. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty good at diffusing situations.
I thought you were going to say diffusing bombs.
That too. Yeah, on the side, I just, bomb squad guy.
All of a sudden, there's a hostage situation. There's a bomb. They call you. Like,
yeah, they give me a call. Hey, man, you doing anything? Oh, not really. Oh, come help us get this bomb not to blow up.
The red wire or the blue?
Yeah,
what's the model?
You're just walking down the street with headphones. They're like, "You listen to TNT. Get over here."
Yeah. But yeah, so, man, I was trying to think of something awesome, but I'm pretty boring.
No superpowers?
Not really, man. I'm pretty good. Like, I don't know.
Diffusing situations.
Yeah, it helps me out with what I do now for a living. So
you see fights about you can just feel the tension of a fight happening.
Yeah, I could kind of feel when things are going
fellas.
south. It's kind of like a street smart thing almost that we used to say like back then. Like you kind of always knew when something bad was about to happen, like, all right, either get out of there or make that stop.
Guys, let's just bury the hatchet right here. Okay.
Yeah. That's enough of this.
What do you guys do? Grow up.
Yeah.
How do you diffuse a situation? Do you like do a magic trick or you like tell a joke?
Shadow puppets.
Shadow puppets.
Yeah. To carry a flashlight around just in case so I could get it going.
I was gonna see. I could
Doug,
do sick.
Bunny.
I do one where I put my knuckles like that, and like it looks exactly like an ape. Doesn't really work without the shadow. Tones, what do you got?
So I'm not an overly athletic person by any means.
You?
But I have very good like quick reflexes with my hands. Like if I'm sitting there and I'm like doing something on my computer and something starts rolling off the table, like I won't even look and I'll just catch it. Like won't even think. Just like the other day, I was walking by someone at work and they were pushing their cart and like a bag of avocados went to fall off. And it was like falling off and like I grabbed it before it hit the ground. Like I don't know. Like I'm just really quick.
Your avocados, miss. Thank you so much.
Just really quick, like involuntary reflexes. Like I don't know. That's my power.
I have that a little bit, but not to that extent. I have I can see for miles. In fact,
Yeah,
some
Hawkeye
call me
Heavey.
Hawkeye Heavey. Yeah, I can see everything. I can read signs that are like a half a mile away. It's wild.
What is
I
it?
know it's probably just gonna 4 eyes. Fucking nerd. But yeah, that's what I would say. So we'll move on to because I want to get Tones electrocuted pretty quickly.
God damn, I forgot about that.
Um,
Fuck.
It's coming up pretty quick. So question number 3: what's the worst smell you've ever experienced?
I'll go first. So at work they have, we have these drains in the ground because there's ice everywhere, so there's always water on the ground, so it's got to go somewhere. Otherwise you'll just be in a lake. But so one time the drain got clogged, so all the water was building up, and one weekend we had to go in there and we had to pull the grate up and we had to reach in with our hands and pull this, and this thing hasn't been cleaned out in years. I would say 4 or 5 years was the last time it was cleaned out, and you're just pulling out black sludge. You don't know what it is, when it's from, where it's from, what it's from. That was one of the worst smells I've ever had to experience.
Gross. So mine I have written down is Jay Parker. So Jay Parker is this. So my bus route when I was in like the 3rd grade, we had to go pick up the poor kids at the apartment buildings, and Jay Parker was like he was a 6th grader who was already 6'4", huge, and he was poor, so like he smelled like terrible. And I would always sit in the 2-seater and like go up against the window, just pray and put my book bag like next to me, and hope to God that like Jay Parker, like I would get Jay Parker like 3 days a week of him sitting next to me. When Jay Parker sits next to you in a 2-seater and like suffocates you against the window, it is the most foul smelling human being I've ever had. Like it was so bad. People were talking about like, yo, did you hear about Tom today? Like he had to sit next to Jay Parker. Like no, he did. Oh, you smell for the rest of the day. Like he was so bad. Like his like shit would just hang on you and it would just rub his smell on. You go to class and people are like, oh God, who smells like Jay Parker? You're like,
do you remember the kid that I lived with junior year, Brandon? I don't want to say his name, but the kid that lived with
the random kid that like came out of
he was the worst smelling person I've ever been. Like he would shower like twice a week tops, and he would just sit in his room playing video games on his computer literally all day. And another kid, because there was 3 2-person rooms in this apartment, and another kid was in there with him. And by the end of the year, like he smelled like the kid because his clothes were just infested with the smell. He would just stay in his room with the door closed, and then like he would open it to get something from the kitchen, and you'd be like sitting on the couch watching TV, and it would just hit you.
That's so fucking ridiculous if you live a life like that where you just stink.
Gross. One of the grossest people I've ever met.
J-Mac, what do you got?
Oh man, when my son was a baby, like he just went from like when they drink bottles to when you start giving them like the little jars of baby food.
Yeah.
We were in the house one day and he explodes, throws up all over his friggin' crib. Yeah. So it was me and my wife and the kids in the crib. So I'm like, oh no, he got sick. And I go and I pick him up and I take a couple steps away from the crib. And the smell of his vomit was the worst.
Oh my God.
And I don't do good with bad smells. Like I'll start gagging myself. Yeah. So now I'm like, and I'm like trying to hold, and I'm trying to hand them to my wife, but she's laughing at me because she's an asshole. And when she starts laughing like that, she can't like she gets weak. Like she wouldn't take him from me because she was laughing. She was afraid she was going to drop him, but I don't want to drop him, but I'm about to throw up too. So I'm in my bathroom now. Like I gave up on even attempting to be a decent parent. I'm holding his onesie, like a fistful of onesie in one hand off to the side, and I'm puking in the toilet while like he's dangling there, and I'm throwing up myself. Oh my God, it was like the worst thing in the world.
So if you're terrible, it smells like when you have to change the diaper, are you like totally like not doing that?
That wasn't as bad as this, man. Like one time he had a real bad diaper. Like he got sick and like it blew out the back, like it was up his neck. You know? Oh, man. Like I was like, oh man, let me go change. I went to open the thing and it was just like everywhere, and I was like. I'm getting sick thinking about it now. It's the worst thing in the world. Like I said, I'm not good with bad smells at all. So like I gagged the whole way through it, man. It was terrible.
Poop is poop. That's what I always say.
Yeah, it's just
because
gross.
Babies, when it comes to picking up after like a dog, like I'm an asshole. Like I don't have a dog. My parents do, and I have to walk it when I get home. I don't pick up the shit. I don't touch it. I just like my dog just like drops loads on like my neighbor's like beautiful front lawns, and I just like carry on and don't pick it up. And then I drive back to Baltimore. They're probably just like, "What the fuck?"
It's Pope again.
It's poop. Who's not picking up after the dog? It's ridiculous. Oh man. All right. So question number 4. So who is your favorite TV dad? So J Mac, who's yours? Resident horror is it Jack Torrance?
I wasn't
It could
sure
be
if
movies,
we were going to count movies as TV.
Oh, what kind of movies
but
also?
Jack Torrance is definitely up there on the list. But
He's
I
a
was
pretty
gonna go,
terrible dad, but go ahead.
yeah, but he's fun, you know. I was going with Tony Soprano.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Tony Soprano's interactions with AJ were like one of my favorite things about the show.
Yeah.
And sadly enough, like I just rewatched it recently, and I was like, it reminds me a lot of the way I deal with my son now that he's bigger. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's saying a lot about me as a parent, but
You just
Good
like,
or bad.
Low-key James Gandolfini.
yeah.
Son, where's the gabagool?
Yeah.
I have Mr. Matthews from Boy Meets World.
Nice.
Classic.
Topanga.
Great guy.
Topanga.
Yes.
What a
Well,
name.
he doesn't know about Topanga.
Nah.
He was looking at Eric.
I wasn't looking at Eric. It's Sean Hunter.
I
Duh.
was gonna say
yeah.
Sean, right?
Yeah,
You
Sean
got
sure.
Hunter, of course. And his brother Jack. Yeah. Oh, man. And their dad, Chet. But Mr. Matthews. Mr. Matthews is the man. And
Yeah.
that guy, when he taught his son a life lesson, I think the
It
student
stuck.
learned a little something there too.
Yeah.
Something about honesty, trust. He was just a simple man working in a grocery store. That's a beautiful house.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Good point.
He's bagging groceries, bringing in like $80K a year. But then he quit his job and they opened up like a mountain climbing shop. You remember that? That was the most bizarre business idea of all time.
Yeah, I haven't thought about Boy Meets World in years.
Oh, it's the best show. For one of my birthdays a few years ago, I got like the entire, I think it's 8 total seasons.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
season of Boy Meets World is like 40 episodes. So it takes a long time. But like, if you just like, you just pretty much watch like Fred Savage or whatever his name is, just grow up. You might as well bet it's real family.
Did you watch the reboot, Girl Meets Boy or whatever? What is it?
Girl
Girl Meets World. Yeah, it wasn't that bad, but it got canceled very quickly.
got canceled.
Yeah.
Apparently, you probably have it if you have all the seasons. There was like 2 episodes that aired and then they're like banned from being ran in reruns because it deals with like sex and drugs or something like that.
Yeah, there's one where like they throw like a party and there's beer there. Like that was the thing. Like Sean's like, and then he shows up like drunk to like the Matthews house. Mr. Matthews is just like pissed. And the other one was after they get married, they bone. Like it's like a very romantic. I can't believe they don't show it anymore. You know, like ABC Family's just like, whoa, what's this? Slides it across the table. What do you think this is, huh? HBO? Oh man! All right, so what do you got, Tones?
I gotta go Randy Marsh,
That's a
South
good
Park. He's always up to some kind of shenanigans. Whether he's my favorite episode of Randy Marsh is when they lose the internet. Everyone loses the internet, and they go to that like FEMA camp
Yeah,
where they have the one computer that works, and he goes in there and he hasn't jerked off in like weeks or months, and he comes and it's just like all over the trailer. They go in, and he's just like, it was ectoplasm. It was a spooky ghost.
you know what the funniest part about him is that he's the town geologist.
Yeah, like every time geologist.
Like, that's his like profession. He's just like he just studies rocks and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
he's always up to something.
All right, we're not going to delay it anymore. It's time for a TNT punishment challenge. So you got to get set up, and I got to take a piss. So why don't we just? You want to hit him with a commercial break again, or do you just want to cut all the dead air that we have between now and then? We'll just cut it. I don't want to put it through another commercial. I feel
Okay,
bad.
all right.
We'll snap back to the future real quick. All right, I'll be right back. I have to piss so bad.
All right. Fuck. God damn it. Fucking cat. Shit.
This is gonna be awesome.
I'm really not looking forward to it.
I can imagine. So, like, what did your mom say when Nipple Shocker showed up in the mail?
I mean, like it showed up in the most like conspicuous box. It's got like it came from Korea, so it's got like the Korean airline like logo. I just told him it was something for my podcast. I didn't like show him what it was. I'm not trying to have that conversation.
You should put it on your gooch. See how that feels. Heard that's exciting.
It's got a nice little. You could just like strap it around.
Huh. That's like for those monster areolas.
Well, it's supposed to like clip it in.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But he's saying like it's only on the black part that electrocutes, so like I got to tape that on because he wants it right on the nipple.
I bet he does.
Gay fuck.
It's pretty sweet.
I'm really not looking forward to this.
Duct tape. This is the greatest thing in the world. I gotta tell you, man, I gotta respect the sacrifices for your craft you guys are going through.
Listen, I give the people what they want.
Did you put a poll up on Twitter like, say I was gonna punish myself? Would you like me to electrocute my nipples?
We only have like 13 followers, so we kind of have to stop with the polls. Pretty much just us liking and retweeting our own tweets. So it's kind of just pointless at this point. But one day somebody will hear of us electrocuting ourselves and maybe they'll laugh.
I still got the Slice and Dice Instagram page. I just made it a Horror Mafia one now, so I'll still put shit up on there and stuff.
Oh, yeah, we got like 12 likes in your last one. That was big. Do you know people? Do people like listen to us that you know that we don't know of?
No, I mean, not that I've spoke to. Yeah, I told the guys. I'm not sure if they checked it out yet or not, but the guys who I do with, and then you know, I keep forgetting. I'll tell Joe because the Horror Mafia, they have like a Patreon, like and the network that we were on, the Horror Affiliate Network.
Mm-hmm.
They get a few hundred downloads an episode just on the network, not including their Patreon and the like the downloads they get on iTunes.
We got to get on that. You got to set me up with the owner of that guy. I mean, of that stuff, and I'll do a sales pitch of our podcast.
Yeah, because I think
we don't even want any money. We just want ears.
The show that we got kind of in the works now. Apparently, my buddy Joey, who I grew up with Joey, and he's like the one who got me into all this shit. Yeah, he already talked to him, so that show's already going to be on the network whenever we decide to put it out.
Nice.
So I'll have its own feed on there and shit. Because I thought he was just going to release it on the Horror Mafia page and shit.
Yeah,
and all that stuff. Because I mean, they sell T-shirts. They got all kinds of shit going on.
Man.
So they actually paid big money. One of the other dudes on the network's an artist, and he drew a. I mean, I think it's the decal, like not the decal, the display pic on Instagram now. I made it, but he drew because it's for them. The Joey, Bill, this kid Donnie, and this girl Tanya, and he did a painting of like them like sitting at a table, and like in the background there's like Tony Soprano and Al Capone on the wall. They got fucking Pinhead on the table, and there's like fucking food stuck to the pins and shit, and they got the Italian flag on the front. It's really fucking dope the way the guy did it, but I forget how much they paid for it, but it was fucking sick.
Yeah, Tones, we got to get a design artist to paint our logo.
Oh, our logo's fire, okay?
I love it. I got a lot of compliments on that this week, by the way.
On the logo?
I love how low quality is. Best part about it.
Fuck, man, I really don't want to do this.
I know. I didn't either.
This is gonna be the greatest thing in the world. I'm so excited.
Sit back and
This is like I'm just right now thinking of the time you decided to drink that entire bottle of Captain Morgan without telling me in my house when you were like 16, and me trying to figure out how to keep you alive through the night so your mother wouldn't murder me.
This is pretty bad. Yeah, I might have died that night actually.
I thought you did.
It's a lot of liquor.
Yeah. It's like, I made this drink a little weak. I'm going to go add some more. I was like, go ahead. We were watching like a UFC fight. Like 2 minutes later, I go to get a drink myself. The entire liter of the shit is gone. I was like, that fucking idiot. He's in the bed, sleeping with his face on the toilet. I'm like, this fucking kid.
Oh, the wires came out. Fuck.
My wife's like, you better watch him.
I'm almost ready.
Sick of his sleep.
All right. Give it a test shock, too, and then turn it off real quick just to make sure you feel it. I got the questions ready to go.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, I need those.
You went with Scotch tape. Like it.
Duct tape.
This looks pretty. Oh yeah, duct tape. I don't know, Scotch tape. That's right. Yeah, you look pretty good.
This is very BDSM right now.
I know. Apparently, there's nothing about this that feels good.
I don't. What do I hit?
I can imagine.
I don't want
You
to
hit.
hit.
I just had to get electrocuted at work to get EID certified. So
Oh, really?
I had
my
to
God.
I got tased a bunch. I had to wear the taser belts, the thing on your arm. I had to tase myself. Throughout the whole certification, I got tased like fucking 9 times.
Don't you have the wires in right?
I think so. So what? I hit power, like the top.
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, hit her
You
now.
gotta
Go ahead.
hold it down till you see a light.
Wait, it's not. I'll hold it down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now try a shock.
I hit pulse.
Yeah, you gotta like hold it too.
Fuck. I'm not feeling it. Does it take time? It's
Yeah,
blinking
get you.
green.
All right, they turn up the knob a little bit.
I don't know.
Hold your hands over your breast and push them down.
No.
All right, try a different mode then.
This isn't working.
Make sure that they're plugged in because they're easy to fall out. The wires that go into the actual breast pads.
Okay. Oh. I don't know.
Once you get them, you'll know.
No, I know. I mean, I don't. Why isn't this working?
Plug it into the other side of the other like one into the power part.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, not working.
No.
Maybe let me hold the thing up to the camera. The power part. All right. Try holding down another mode and turn the knob up even more.
I just shut it off, I think. Hold on. Absorb. Is that one?
Yeah. Oh, that's the one I did.
You did absorb?
Not pulse. Absorb. So it pulls.
I don't know, man. It's not.
Did you get faulty nipple shockers?
I don't know. You think it makes a difference if it's not on the shirt, like on bare skin?
Try put it on your hands too to see if you feel it. Like just like hold it in your hands.
Oh wait, hold on.
Did you feel it in your hands?
Okay, it's this little part here has got to be on the nipple.
Oh, okay. We fixed it, J-Mac.
Oh,
Problem solved.
Wait, hold on, no,
That's
the power's still up all the way. I don't feel anything. Never mind. Hold on. The fuck. It didn't come with any directions either.
Yeah, no. It took me days to figure out. That's why I was testing it. But it should be like whatever it's on, like if you're holding it in your hands just like die and like you drop it. Like that's how it should be feeling.
I don't know. It's not.
That's why, yeah, I have the CVS backup ones too. You might have to
I
get-
felt like a little, like it wasn't like a big shock, but when I touched it, I felt like a little like. Oh, what was that? It's very weak. Like I feel it, but it's very weak. I think it's got to be directly on there. I think the shirt's too thick.
yeah,
Oh,
just slip
okay.
them under.
Yep, I'm getting it now. Yeah. Okay.
You felt it's that little part that you're talking about?
Yeah, it's not that strong though.
Yeah, the CVS ones that I have, the actual muscle simulators, those are worse. That's what we should have did.
I wish you told
These
me
are
that
still
before.
terrible. Once you get the right spot, it's like complete. It's, I mean, like it may not hurt, but it's complete electrocution.
Yeah, tits out for the boys.
All right.
Nice.
I live right next to where cruise ships dock in Baltimore. It's like it's a very annoying place to live. You guys hear it in the background?
Oh, okay.
Fucking ridiculous.
You feeling it?
Okay, yeah.
All
I
right.
feel like it should be stronger, but
Is it all the way on max?
yeah, it's on max now.
Do you have it on absorb?
It feels like someone's flicking my nipple.
Yeah. Try a different mode.
Let me try the pulse. That was auto. I had it on. Okay, yeah. I told you I have really like people
Strong.
try to purple nurple me and it doesn't work.
Uh,
I might have to go max from the jump, honestly.
yeah, just keep it on max then.
All right, I'm just gonna shut it off for now because I don't want to have it.
Well, I mean, like when you keep it on for a while, like there's just electricity being poured into your body, so you'll like feel it.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Okay. Let me get the timer ready. Where's my pen? Okay. You ready?
All right, we're back with the TNT punishment challenge. We had a little bit of technical difficulties trying to get Tone's nipple shockers to work, but they look like they're working now. Am I right? They're working a little bit?
Yeah, they're working.
Okay. All right. So with that, J-Mac, just sit back and enjoy watching your cousin get electrocuted. I'm going to ask a whole bunch of questions, and he has infinite passes, and he has to do whatever he can to get 5 correct. And every time he gets one wrong, I mean, his nipples are apparently made of steel, so he's just going to be on max power the entire time. So the shocking will not stop until he gets 5 questions correct. So, Tones, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, I'm going to count it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Which Russian town suffered an infamous nuclear disaster in 1986?
Chernobyl.
Correct. Which planet shares its name with a dog?
Pluto.
That's correct. In nautical terms, what is the opposite of windward?
What? Pass.
What is an irrational fear of trees called?
All right, pass.
Which is the most northerly of the Channel Isles?
Pass.
Where on the human body is the zygomatic bone found?
What? Pass. What the fuck?
Which Welsh poet insisted we do not go
Pass.
gently into the night?
Oh, pass.
In women's gymnastics, what is 6 feet 6 inches long?
The beam.
Correct. That's you got 3 right.
3, go.
Who wrote the poem Paradise Lost?
Pass.
Okay. Which ocean surrounds the Maldives?
Pacific.
No, incorrect.
Fuck.
What is the name of Europe's most northern town?
Moscow.
No, incorrect.
Yeah.
Who was the lover of the Roman known as Mark Antony?
Cleopatra.
Correct. That's 4. You need one more. In Jan Barrow's novel, where do the Lost Boys live?
Under the train.
No. Which word can be placed before bottle, bell, and bird?
Pass.
Yes. Okay. Fucking
hurry up.
Name the port of Rome.
What? Pass.
What was Louis Armstrong's chosen form of music?
Trumpet.
No. Well,
Blues.
no. Incorrect.
Tuba.
Who sang about an Eggman and a walrus?
The Beatles.
Correct. That's it. Unstrap yourself. Get out of there. How'd you do?
That hurt.
That was awesome.
Oh, I got this duct tape in my chest here.
You're gonna be shaking for like the next few hours. By the way, you don't like feel it. Like it's not like a sharp pain, but it's just like electricity going into your body and like just intense. All right. Well, it's the show.
Oh my god.
So J-Mac, Tones, J-Mac, you got any post-show thoughts? Thank you for joining us, of course.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh no, thank you guys for having me, man. This is awesome. Had a good time.
You're welcome back anytime you want. We never have guests. It's always good to have one.
Yeah,
First guest of all time.
The first,
you want to plug anything, by the way?
Our first mortal guest.
Yes.
We had
Correct.
the devil.
We had Satan on once. Do you want to plug anything? Your podcast or anything?
Yeah, you could still find episodes of the Slice and Dice Dreadcast on the Horror Affiliate Network for podcast and on iTunes and stuff. And my boy Joey, and Bill, who I did Slice and Dice with, have another podcast called the Horror Mafia Podcast that you can find on iTunes and Horror Affiliate Network. And I actually, since we stopped Slice and Dice, I take care of the Instagram page for the Horror Mafia for them, since I enjoyed doing it and stuff. So
Nice. Yeah, just post our podcast instead. You know.
yeah, I've got you guys up there a couple times. I do it as much as I can. So
Also, before we close out the show, because I completely forgot, you had a ghost story with your son, right? And I totally forgot to get to it, and I was dying to hear it. So please, before we end the show.
Yeah. Well, it came up just how I got into podcasting, I guess, in the first place. But my boy Joey, at one point, he had like 3 shows going on, and me and him actually talked about doing a wrestling podcast. And I was listening to, he had another horror movie podcast called Death by Podcast that was on, and I would listen to that. And we grew up together, so we'd talk through Facebook about different stuff. And I brought up something, my son, when he was small, he would see things around the house, and he the way I found out about it was the movie Peter Pan, which Neverland was the answer to that question. You were thinking of the vampire movie The Lost Boys when he fucking said under the train. But
what a terrible answer.
Yeah, under the train.
I didn't know. I was trying to end it.
So when in the beginning of that movie, when Peter Pan's chasing his shadow around the room, my son was like 2, and he would freak out. Like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I'd have to fast forward through that part of the movie. And he would tell my wife about the shadow man that he would see that would watch him play in his room and stuff. And when
It sounds like a generic horror film. I think you should.
Yeah,
a witch doctor or a priest.
We had, like, I lived in that house in Brooklyn my whole life, and then I met my wife. You know, we had the kid and everything, and we took over the top floor apartment at one point. And I don't think my wife is like a psychic or nothing, but I think she has an antenna that kind of attracts crap like that.
It's like me, I have Gator, like, you know.
Anthony knows that Tones knows that she's a little witchy, so it just comes out. But you know, after she moved in, like, wacky shit would happen from time to time, especially when my son was small, and he would say he saw this thing running around. And one night I got home from work, I was working nights at the time, and I'm sitting in the living room playing Call of Duty, and I hear a scream in the bedroom, and like a second later, my wife comes running into the living room. She's like, I woke up and someone was standing next to the bed. And I'm like, I just think they're all insane at this point, because I lived in that house my whole life, and I never had anything weird like that happen. She was like, no, I woke up and there was like a shadow figure of a person standing next to the bed. So I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. So went back inside with her. She fell back asleep. I went back to my video game. No problem. When he was small, he'd get out of his bed and come climb in our bed, and I'd let him lay there until he fell asleep, and then I'd carry him back to his bed. So, you know, Tones has been in the apartment up there a million times. When you would walk out of our bedroom and into my son's bedroom, and then the next room was like the dining room. So the door from my son's bedroom to the dining room was like half open. and I'm walking carrying him, and I look and I see like a shadow. At first I thought it was my shadow, like the street lights were coming through the window and
Right.
my shadow was being projected. And as I'm looking, I'm like, if it was my shadow, it would be on like the outside of the door.
Right.
Like, the door being halfway open, like this thing, the wall and the door were cutting off like the shoulders and arms of this thing. Like it was behind the door, whatever it was. So I put my son down and I'm walking back and like I'm half asleep and all this is kind of starting to like make sense to me. So I get to the end of my bed and I stop before I go to walk up to lay down. And I look back like through the doorways into my son's room, and now I'm standing sideways and this thing is on the other side of the door and it's like facing me. Whoa. So like now it can't be my shadow because I'm sideways and this thing is still dead on and like a full size solid black like a person. So like I sit down in the bed and I lay down and I'm laying there and like now I'm really like coming to fucking wake up, and I'm like freaked out, but at the same time, like I just left my kid in the room with this thing. So like my big ass like crawls to the end of the bed like a cat, and I'm trying to peek around the door to see if it's still there, and like I didn't see nothing.
God.
So yeah, so like I went up and I peeked around again and I'm looking to see if I saw anything, and there was nothing in there anymore. So I went back to sleep. But that was like it felt like a horror movie, like the wife and kid always see stuff first and they're like, okay, and then it finally happens to the dad, and that happened to me. But we had weird stuff happen up there, especially when my son first started walking. Like the apartment door would lock by itself, and it's like when he just
God.
My
so
parents
moved out of that place since, right?
Yeah, I mean, I lived there for years after that. Like I said, I lived there my whole life and nothing strange happened. I think whatever it wasn't so much like the house was haunted, just something,
was a lost ghost
looking out. Like I think my wife had an uncle that she was real close with that had passed. I think very like father figure type dude. And I think it was something kind of looking out for my son, like a family member or something. Because like I said, when he first started to walk, like there was a couple times where I'd wake up and find them out of the apartment. Like the only people that lived in the building were me, us, and my parents. So I never locked the front door to our apartment because who cared? But
how old is he now?
He's 11 now.
Okay, so like 2 years from now, he'll like be able to. He's gonna be like, what's his name in Sixth Sense? The kid.
Haley Joel
Osment.
Yeah. So yeah. So like when like I said, I work nights at the time. I get home from work and I can't get the door open. And my wife, finally hears me banging around out there. She comes in and locks the door, and she's like, "I didn't lock this before I went to sleep." And I'm like, "Well, that doesn't make sense," because the kid's like 2, he couldn't reach it.
He couldn't lock it. Yeah.
Yeah. A couple times I got up in the morning and found the door locked, and I was the last one to go to bed. I know that it wasn't locked before I went to bed.
Who's living there now?
Some
poor soul.
Yeah,
some guy just
the ghost STD. You just left it with them.
That's their problem now. But even after my dad passed away, my mom had weird stuff happen downstairs. When my dad was still alive, though, the thing that it's hard to explain, but like it's like a railroad apartment. So there was like when you went in through the front door, there was a long hallway that at the end of it was a kitchen, and then to the right was the bathroom.
Yeah, it's got ghost written all over.
Door on the left was like into our living room. Tone's been there a bunch, so he kind of could visualize it maybe better than I'm explaining it. But I was at work. My wife she was either cleaning the bathroom or she had just given my son a bath or something, and she was in the bathroom for some reason. I think she was either cleaning it. Maybe, yeah, just blowing her ass out. So I think she had just taken a bath. Like she had him in the towel, sending him out, and she was cleaning up in the bathroom, and she hears someone say hello. So she sticks her head out the bathroom door and looks down the hallway, expecting like maybe one of my parents came up to see him or something. Like they would never just walk in, they'd knock or whatever. So she looks down and doesn't see nothing. And now she goes back to what she's doing. And 2 seconds later, my son came running in the bathroom, like freaked out. And he tells her, "I saw a skeleton lady."
Oh shit! That sounds like a demon to me.
Yeah. So he actually he was freaking out. She was freaking out because she just heard someone say hello and no one was there. So she ran downstairs to my parents' apartment, and my mom was playing with the kid, trying to get him to calm down. But he was like shaking. He was hiding under a blanket on my mom's couch. And my mom, they finally got him to calm down to explain what he saw. And he said he saw a woman with red hair and she was wearing slippers. which kind of fit me and Tones' grandmother that lived there with, my whole life when I was a kid. So I think when he said a skeleton woman, he was just trying to say like it wasn't a lot. Like he was 2 years old, if that, at the time, So, that happened. They finally went back upstairs, and like they waited down my mother's house for me to get home from work, and then we all went upstairs. But yeah, that went on, like other like weird things, like stuff.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, stuff like, and like I said, man, I lived that house my whole life. I never had anything like really weird happen. When I was a kid, my grandmother lived in the building, and she had the first floor apartment. We had the top floor, and the basement was like finished. And that's where like when Tones' family would come over, my other aunts and cousins.
Sunday dinner.
Sunday dinner was down in the basement. Yeah. So, but like I remember as a kid being down in the basement doing stuff with my grandmother, and she'd be like, she'd forget something up in her apartment, like go up there, and like it was always creepy to go into her apartment during the daytime. Like you'd run from your life from the apartment door to like get whatever she needed, and then run back. That was it. That was the closest thing.
You grab me a beer?
Yeah, literally full tilt. Like, and then the worst feeling in the world was when like you would try to run out and you'd miss the light switch on the way back out the apartment.
So you got to go back.
Yeah, if you left her light on, she would freak out and scream at you.
Man,
you were wasting electricity. So now you had to run back in there to hit the light and run back out.
So basically, ghosts exist, and I think I've discovered this with the spirit box. So, J-Mac, we're gonna get you back on. I'm gonna get a Ouija board. Maybe we'll think about it, and we'll do.
I don't fuck around with I mean, if you're gonna do it over there, I'm cool with it. But I don't.
You don't have to come over.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Like, my wife.
If we have it's a strict no demon policy, and I think that like as long as you establish that, it's all good. You just want to talk to like some ghost like named Jeff, like he just wants to talk. So I've been dead for years. I haven't talked to anybody forever. Maybe he just wants to talk. Like that's what
I come back and do all that. Like I got. We could go on for
podcasts left and right.
My I know you guys are trying to wrap it up, but my dad grew up in a house that was haunted. So growing up, I would hear stories about that like all the time. And my father hated talking about it, but I had an uncle and an aunt that would come over for holidays, and they still live there. Actually, my uncle just sold that house. He moved down to North Carolina, but they lived there. And from when they were babies until he moved out, like there was activity in that house all the time.
So we talked about this. Like, do you think you could hire a priest like you would a nanny if you have a haunted house? Like just a priest who like comes in like 9 to 5.
I mean, I don't know if they do it every day, but you definitely could get blessings and shit like that done. If you ask the priest at the church, they'll come through and bless the house. The only thing they have to get permission from the Vatican from is an exorcism.
Okay.
Yeah, but like just a regular blessing, they could show up if you think weird shit's happening, just do a blessing and see how that goes,
Yeah. In that house, there was a room that like no one went in, right? It was just like you just stay out of that room because
my dad's the house my dad grew up in, there was literally a room that nobody went in. Like, don't go in that room. That's not like my dad from when he was like 10 until he moved out, and when he got married to my mother and they moved in together, did not sleep in his bedroom because on that floor all night long you would hear footsteps, doors opening and closing, and wild shit like that.
Jesus.
Yeah, so
that's terrifying. All right, well, we got to wrap it up because I think we ran really long. So, but we always say like if we're fucking leaving the show like with tears in our eyes laughing, which I'm doing right now, that's how you know it's a good show. So Bomb Squad, enjoy. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed seeing Tones get electrocuted. Thank you, J-Mac, again for joining us. Go listen to his podcast, follow him on Instagram, and we will be back with a Tuesday show, Thursday show, something like that during the week. I'm not traveling this week. We'll figure it out. Yeah. All right, have a good one, guys.